Be the turning point.
That made me want to, go into a shell. Watching that happen, Mohammad Siraj on the boundary line, getting that catch where it found safe hands, but unfortunately, Mohammad Siraj was not aware that he was that close to the boundary. Accidentally steps on the rope, and then he's fully outside of the boundary, outside the ground, and his face is in his hands. And we are all, we were having lunch at that time, and for the first time, we get good food, and then we watch that happen, and we're also celebrating. Everyone inside the lunchroom is celebrating, like, yeah, oh, finally you get that breakthrough, and it's a six.
I was in my seat, and,
Yeah.
and all of us had stood up, and the entire section of the Indian crowd, which is just left of me, they had stood up. The slips had started celebrating. KL Rahul had started to
Prasidh
celebrate.
Krishna was
Prasidh
like
Krishna
this.
with his hand up, and could that be the turning point is the question, because all of a sudden Harry Brook cut loose, then the other two fours and 1-6, and he was on 19 and he raced to 35. 15, 16, 20 runs happened in no time. All of a sudden England kind of got momentum there. Is that, I think the lunch break has come at a very good time for India.
Yeah, I think they will want to forget what happened in those final couple of overs. Recalibrate. It's not like the game is gone. You still have a lot of runs on the scoreboard. But I hope there isn't a moment in this match where we look back and think, that moment changed everything. That changed. If that catch was taken, we would have been in a very different position. I don't want that to happen. I don't want now for Joe Root and Harry Brook to take the game away. If that happens, if Harry Brook is able to get some real damage, do some real damage to the Indian bowling lineup, then you will look back and always say this was a turning point, and you don't want that to happen.
I know what you're not saying. I know what you're not saying. You're not saying Mohammad Siraj will be blamed for it.
I know.
And that's the truth. But I don't think that'll happen. I think Mohammad Siraj will come. And by the way, it's overcast. And it's pretty heavy.
And
Overcast,
wind.
and you can sense the wind. I think Mohammad Siraj will come with a burst post-lunch and get it. Because this lunch is important. This lunch is important because you needed some time. India needed some time to recalibrate. And all of a sudden, Akash Deep leaking runs, bless you.
Bless me again.
Wide delivery for 4, that 5, all of a sudden India was a little rattled. India was a little rattled, and that's why I conceded about 20 extra runs in that last 15 minutes. I thought 145 was par for 3, and all of a sudden that became 164 for 3. That was kind of 20 extra runs because India got rattled because of that counter charge and that drop catch. That drop catch cost you 6, and then that wide 5 of Akash Deep cost you another 5. So 11 there and a couple of boundaries. So 20 runs extra according to me to Harry Brook. Good for him, he counter punched, and that's what Bazball and England will try. But again, this is where Shubman Gill and his boys need to stay disciplined. It will happen. This moment will not decide the game. This moment cannot. India still has 212, 13 runs to play with. It cannot decide the game. India has to believe that moment cannot decide the game, and you've got to come hard. They bowled well. They bowled extremely well. How many times did the ball miss the bat? Miss the bat, edges, possible edges. I thought India was disciplined in the first 1 hour, 45 minutes of play.
Yeah, I mean, really, when you look at it, when Ben Duckett came up with his 50, at that point he had been beaten about 8 to 9 times.
More.
More. From what I counted.
Siraj's 1 over, he was beaten 5 times. 5. 1 ball he managed to negotiate. 5 times in that over he was beaten.
No, I was counting where he could have been out. And I think there were 8 to 9 solid chances against Mohammad Siraj that Ben Duckett could have gotten out on the offside.
Spot on.
And I was counting those deliveries, and look at what's happening. How much movement and how much unpredictability pitch from the Vauxhall end is so good today.
Even the ball that went for wide 4. Moving after it past the keeper. So there is still movement. There is assistance. Action, by the way, is cloud cover all day. It will move. It will swing. India will get opportunities. And I will be most surprised from here on if India does so. India has to stay patient and disciplined. There will, and that's what I'm saying. This moment cannot define the game.
No,
If
yes.
India doesn't, means you got rattled and you allowed the game to be taken away from you. It will be a problem there, not this particular moment. So after lunch, again I reckon India will come back with a better plan. The coaching staff will get in, field positions will change. I thought a couple of times to Joe Root, they should have had that cover. They immediately got Ishwaran into that position after the boundary was hit. Of Prasidh, 2 times it happened. Twice you could sense that. I do think India in the first hour, how would you rate Mohammad Siraj? Once again, a lion-hearted effort for 1 hour 10 minutes.
He was also troubling Joe Root. Joe
could have
Root
got him.
looked out so many times. I mean,
And that umpire's call.
oh,
And that Joe Root, 2 moments in that morning. Joe Root umpire's call, Ahsan Raza,
Yeah.
of Prasidh Krishna. Naked eye looked out. Naked
He
eye
did
looked
look
out. Umpire's call leg stump.
But you know what? I'm not complaining because throughout
It's
the
happened.
series there
It's
have
happened.
been a lot of
Yeah.
umpire calls that have gone India's way. So
It
fair
evens out.
enough.
It evens out.
It evens out. But then again, I'm not for the first time, not for the first time, but for the very few times in this series, Joe Root was struggling when he first came.
Incoming delivery.
And we were talking about it that Joe Root's got the same problem as Shubman Gill when it comes to those in-swinging deliveries, and he was actually struggling there, especially against Mohammad Siraj. But again, what do you say? I mean,
It's
more
very
you
tense.
say about
Yeah,
it,
it's very tense.
Yeah.
You can sense the tension. I thought Harry Brook, and that attack, by the way, was because India was on top. Harry Brook's counter punch was not the Ben Duckett, Zach Crawley counter punch. It was a counter punch of desperation to try and loosen the field, rattle India so that the mistakes happen. And the catch, the field position was perfect. They had a deep mid, they had a fine. And that's where the catch went. It was the perfect field position from India. They trapped him. Unfortunately, they could not get that wicket. And thereafter, Brook cut loose. He came down and hit him for 4. He cut there for 4. All of a sudden, you could sense that he had got that life and was making the most of that life. That's what happened there. And again, I keep saying, these are moments in the game where you cannot let things drift. Shubman Gill will have to get control back. You don't think so? I still think it's India.
If they can make a comeback after what happened yesterday in the day before yesterday in that first session, I think they can do anything.
100%. I mean, at this point also, I will say it's India. 100%. I will say it's still 70-30 India. Still 70-30 India. Yes, Harry Brook's brief counter punch has kind of rattled them a little bit, but I will still say it's India. You need one burst from Mohammad Siraj post-lunch where he picks 1 or 2. And if he does that, it's done. One this session you need 2. You need 2 or 3.
3, I would say 3.
You need 2 or 3, and England maybe 250 odd for 5 or 6, and it's game done. Because it's
drizzling.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. Can you not feel the spit?
Yeah, but
बहुत कम है, लेकिन ये बढ़ ना जाए बस. That's all.
नहीं बढ़ेगा. वो तो prediction में नहीं है. But because you don't have walk, so 2 or 3 in this session. You need absolutely 2 or 3 in this session. You get past Root, you get past Brook, all of a sudden no walks. The game opens up fully. I'm saying this will be India. This will create real nerves for everybody. But I still think it's India. I thought Akashdeep did not bowl the right line.
Which is why he couldn't get the sort of assistance that Prasidh Krishna and Mohammad Siraj were getting off the pitch.
Yeah. Now one can sense the drizzle, or one can sense the spit. But the sun is also out.
The sun is also out. So London, make up your mind. Come on.
They will never be able to make up their mind. I mean, the Brits and British weather and climate, and never ever in the world will be able to make up their mind. But I thought Prasidh Duckett, set him up. That's what Akashdeep should have done. Akash movement unfortunately wasn't able to get. By the way, it's drizzling now. It's drizzling now, but it's bright as well. I don't think it'll last.
Because of the wind.
It's coming to.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's still. One burst from Brook and your bowlers forget how to bowl.
I don't. Couple of overs, one over 15 runs and one over for Akashdeep, which was wild. That's all. I don't think it's anybody has forgotten to bowl
How to
or any
bowl,
such
exactly.
thing.
No
And
such
the
thing as
Prasidh
that.
Krishna follow-up over was pretty decent. It's not as if Harry Brook kept on attacking or India kept on getting rattled. If you see, that was after that Prasidh bowled an over and Akash bowled an over. So two more overs. I don't think that's a fair assessment.
Okay, so Agatha is saying Siraj gave his everything in the series, played every game. We should not blame him for this. He will win this for us for sure.
I agree.
100%. I agree. I
Nobody
think
should
he
blame
will.
him. Nobody.
नहीं. और वो हो जाता है यार कभी कभी हो. He's given you so much throughout the series. I think he will.
এদিকে চলে আসুন।
I think he will.
It's
No,
okay.
it's all right.
আসুন।
I think he'll be the one who'll be like, I need to make up for this. He will come back. Yes.
आप তুমি সেলফি নিয়ে নাও, ঘোরাও, হ্যাঁ ঘোরাও, চলো। থ্যাংক ইউ।
I think it will be Mohammad Siraj is such a player that he will think, you know what, nobody will have to go and tell him, boss, you need to make up for this. He
Go
will
all
know.
out.
He will know. And he will put in extra 50% now into his effort.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I will add, आपने 50% बोला, मैं उसको 200% कर दूंगा। Knowing मोहम्मद सिराज,
नहीं वो 200 तो दे रहा है वो और
वो
50
पागल
डालेगा।
आदमी है वो अभी। He will give it everything that he has.
Yeah.
Again, this is not the moment that will define the game. 212 runs adrift. This doesn't define the game. If England goes on to win, they'll have to again continue to play out of their skins to go on and win.
Yeah.
Certainly not that this Mohammad Siraj moment of that dropped catch will define it. Doesn't happen like that.
No.
Doesn't happen like that.
Okay, incorrect headline. It's a shared session.
Yes, it is. Yes,
No,
absolutely
but
it is.
Because the headline was made a bit earlier than what before the Siraj thing happened.
What was the headline?
India wins the session.
Yeah, no, it is a shared session. The headline, as she said, was made a little early. I do think it's a shared session. And had that Siraj catch been taken, then it would have been an India session.
Yeah.
Well pointed out, it is a shared session.
Life World Gaya match. नहीं गया.
नहीं गया.
Singularity is saying England will score at 5.5 to 6 and over, even if wickets fall. If India hasn't taken 3 at least, we are out of the game at T, as England will only need 100 runs.
Boss, 212 runs still to go, 210 runs still to go. Boss, come on, huh?
Have some
210
faith, have
runs.
some faith.
हम लोग 250 पौने 300 का लीड के बारे में बात कर रहे थे. We were talking about a 275 lead being enough. We were talking about 250 in the fourth innings chase. That's what we were talking about. You got a 374. What are you talking about? England will play 5.5 and 6 and India will play ping pong or what?
We had 387 and still lost.
Where?
387.
Where did we have
right?
387? We had 371 in Leeds. Where did we have
But
387?
Leeds was very different.
Of
yeah.
course
Leeds
it is.
was a
Look at
batting
that wicket.
paradise.
Of course. Where did we have 387 and lost? Don't remember.
Oh, overcast conditions है. रुकिए, सबर रखिए. Okay, they should bring Washi for Brook.
Yeah, Brook has had an
Ah.
issue with Washi.
Yes. ये तो ले लिया. Tamila Rasan, England will still have the advantage. The second session is crucial. Whichever team clutches it, it could go on to win the match.
Correct?
Correct.
But,
Yes.
but again, it's innings 4 and India will have its chances. 6 balls, that's what you need. 6 good balls and you need a little bit of luck.
Yeah.
Because so many plays and misses, you need a little bit of luck.
That
Plus that
umpire's
Mohammad Siraj
call.
moment, plus that umpire's call. If you would actually take luck in that first session, everything went in England's way. Because each time, play and miss, whether it is Root, whether it is Brook, whether it is Duckett, and thereafter that umpire's call, thereafter that Mohammad Siraj moment. Everything, but it evens out. I keep saying in sport, it does even out. Sport gives you a second chance. Mohammad Siraj chance, and I'm a firm believer in Siraj's ability to make it. She said it very well. Put in that extra. If there is anything to be, little fuel in the tank will be used. This game is I still think it's India.
Yeah. The Siraj catch could have been brilliant for India. Nonetheless, India at least 5 before the target reduces to 150.
Agree.
Yeah, that's very good.
Two more wickets in the next is absolutely right. Try and get 225 for 5 is the ideal way. That's whoever said it very right, because 225 for 5 means actually 6 no walks, and there is a tongue who doesn't bat that well, but Atkinson will. So you absolutely need 2 more wickets in the next 60 odd runs. Very, very rightly said.
Abhishek Das, if we lose this match, bowlers and Gill to blame.
Why Gill?
If you lose
Because of
this
captaincy.
match, it will be because of England's brilliance with the bat.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree. But 374 on a wicket like this, Gargi, you need to defend that. So he has a point about bowling. If your bowlers aren't able to defend 375 on a wicket like this, which is offering movement all morning, then yes, I mean, then there is an issue. So yes, the bowlers will. Yes, Shubman Gill as well, because captaincy, people will start asking questions that every time there is pressure, Shubman Gill has to rally the team around, and was he able to? So fair point that, but it's a fair distance away. I think that's a premature point to make, but a fair point if it eventually happens.
Okay, can Vokes still bat? No. ECB.
I mean, how will he bat with one hand?
अगले ही दिन ECB ने बता दिया था कि
he has no role to
play in the 5th test anymore, so no. Chris Vokes will not play. Washington Sundar कह रही थी. Shekhar Ranjan Amin is saying virtually there's no chance for India if all of a sudden doesn't become overcast or the bounce becomes a bit uncertain.
We are watching a different game.
How is that possible? Boryada, Mad Max is saying, Boryada, I am scared. Can we win?
We can. Hold on. This is test cricket.
You have to hold your horses. Be
patient, boss. This is test match cricket. There is a lot of cricket that is still left there. A lot of cricket still left to be played. Hold on. India absolutely can win, should win, and I still think will win.
Okay. Can Washington and Jadeja be effective on this wicket?
No. Did not seem like, but you can try Washington Sundar. You can try Washington Sundar with the drift Harry Brook. If he is trying to attack, you absolutely can try. And also, Ravindra Jadeja, I need to check, because a couple of overs, need to check if he is getting any purchase, if there is any footmark. At this point, doesn't seem that the two of them can really have impact, or, on a 4th day wicket. I did not see. Maybe against Jacob Bethel, one has to see the footmarks. And if the ball tends to come in with the arm for Ravindra Jadeja, also Washington Sundar, if he is bowling that angle, if there are footmarks there. But against the right-hander, Harry Brook hasn't played Washington Sundar well. That is certainly a point. Manchester, he comes down the track, gets stumped. Harry Brook hasn't played him well, could be the issue, not the purchase from the wicket.
Sudipta Chakravarti is saying, sometimes this type of catch makes the result. This partnership will break the hope of winning the test. Need 3 wickets immediately after lunch. We have to go for the spinners. Suman Avasthi, Gargi not taking my comment because I said Delhi street food sucks. Wapas bhejiya, I must have missed it. Okay. Mehul Jani is saying we need to forget about the dropped catch and move forward.
Absolutely. That dropped catch will not define the game. 212 runs doesn't happen because of a dropped catch, for God's sake. Come on. If you say one moment in the game of a dropped catch, when 25 runs are still to get, and you say, okay, because of one dropped catch, 225 runs were scored, then it's maddening. How is it possible that 225 runs get scored because of one dropped catch and one blemish by a fielder? Nah, absolutely not. If England wins it, as she rightly said, will be England's batting brilliance and India's underperforming bowling. If India loses, then the bowling has completely sort of lost it, rather than that drop catch.
Are we missing a 4th seaming option?
Possibly yes.
4th seam bowler.
Possibly yes, but in whose place? Karun Nair is your only bet. He got a 57 and a decent.
And
even in the second innings, in whose place?
57, you would have taken that.
Obviously, your 4th seaming Shardul Thakur. Nobody else, and Shardul Thakur, your captain.
Nitish Kumar Reddy, you don't have.
Reddy नहीं है fit. अगर वो नीतीश कुमार रेड्डी fit होता, करुण नायर के पहले खेलता, 100% खेलता.
Okay, Gill needs to chin up. He looked sad after Brooks
Yes,
hitting.
yes,
Hope Gigi gives him some real
yes.
pep
And
talk.
I Hua because he
Yeah.
outside, and one can see his body language changes because he actually becomes sad is the word.
Yeah.
He becomes disappointed, he becomes sad, which is fine. It can happen because you expect that ecstatic moment in the game that the catch has been taken, and then your heart sinks to no, are the fielder has stepped. But these things will happen in sport. You've got to have the ability to take your team with it. I think that is why I said at the very start of the show that the lunch break has come at a very, very good time for India. The lunch break was much needed for
Yeah,
recalibrating India.
absolutely. Dilip Kumar Silvam is saying, I think some magic ball can only dismiss Root, or else Root will never give his wicket. Will that magic ball come from Magic Mia?
Of course will, because Root, if you see the ball to Pope, the ball pitched and darted in. You need one more incoming delivery to Root. After lunch, India discipline, look, it will happen. If it doesn't happen, it is very surprising that this sport having, honestly, in the next 2 hours, if we think that we will not see wicket taking balls, that's kind of unbelievable. If it doesn't, then it's a miraculous thing, and England has taken it away. Nobody is saying England can't win, but I'm still saying it's India 70-30. You need one intense session, and one intense session always happens.
Rohan Bhattacharya, India has to keep sticking to their lens without panicking. England attack. England attack the best way. What? England can win. The only way England can win is by attacking rather than trying to hold on. That is where India will get their chances.
Correct.
Absolutely.
And they will play baseball. That's what Harry Brook tried. And by the way, that shot over cover, that's what it will happen. There will be chances. And repeatedly, I'm trying to say the same thing. There will be chances. You've got to believe there will be chances. You have to create your chances. Stay patient, not let the game drift. If there are a couple of boundaries here, there, and by the way, that can happen, do not. What was that?
No, they dropped their.
The beer.
That
Yeah,
doesn't look
seems.
like beer.
Seems because they go.
They've lost.
The froth.
हाँ नहीं कुछ drink है पता नहीं क्या है.
हाँ वो नहीं जो भी है.
Who will provide the next breakthrough?
I think post lunch it will be Mohammad Siraj and Prasidh Krishna to start. I think Mohammad Siraj after the dropped catch, that will be a. I am expecting a fiery spell from Mohammad Siraj coming up after lunch. An intense spell where he will bowl about 5 or 6. He will give it his all, and I am expecting a wicket.
Shubman Gill allowed some easy singles in strike rotation.
No, I thought the field positioning was okay, except India a couple of times went over attacking, conceded 2 boundaries, instantly rectified. My only issue with Shubman Gill is when Harry Brook started attacking, his body language was kind of disappointed, that he was sad. That was so a little evident that he was a little crestfallen. That cannot happen from the captain. He has to rise the team again. He has to take the team and move on. I think that will happen after lunch. Because of that luncheon break, they will be able to recalibrate and manage that. I think that's what India needs now. They needed a break, take time off, half an hour, 40 minutes, come back rejuvenated, come back recalibrated, forget about that catch. Somebody said that, forget about that catch that it happened. Just think about it that Harry Brook tried to counterpunch. Think about it this way, you still have 212, you still have the bowling, the wicket is still doing something, you still have overcast conditions, this match can be won. You have to believe, forget, just blank out that catch from your memory. Mohammad Siraj needs to come and bowl with full intensity.
What will be England's batting approach in the second session?
They'll keep counterpunching.
Yeah.
Harry Brook will keep counterpunching because they know if they don't, there will be a ball that will have their number. They will keep counterpunching because if they keep counterpunching, they will know that India might just get rattled. If Shubman Gill gets rattled, if India gets rattled, that's their best chance. Another 50 runs, and once that lead is under 200, all of a sudden India will also start to feel that pinch. So it of nerves. I wrote today morning about which team will soak in the pressure better, which will be calmer, which team will believe they can win this more. This is now a game of mental strength, and that's what will define. Does India have that to have that and come and push hard? I do think they do. I think Mohammad think Mohammad Siraj will do the job post lunch.
Okay.
Khatam kare in the next 2-3 minutes.
Yes. Last kuch sawal le le. Boria sir, Pant, don't you think so?
He can, but under pressure
Alag baat
has the
hai.
ability. But under pressure is a different ball game, and not everybody is a punk. I'm not saying he can't. He has enormous talent. Nobody is doubting that. But under pressure, test match on the line, series decider, that's a very different thing to do.
And because my prediction for the first session came true, which
Chalo,
was spot
bolo.
on, 2 wicket or 90 to 100 runs, वही हुआ
110-15 हुआ. हाँ, ठीक है.
हाँ.
इसमें बोलो.
3 wicket,
Three in this,
3 wickets.
then India is winning.
What's your prediction?
I also think
Three,
India will come back strong. I don't think this partnership or that moment will define the game. I honestly, I don't think that moment will define the game. Cannot be. The game is not as harsh. There are moments. It happens. There is inevitably a time when you get an opportunity. Mohammad Siraj will get one. With the ball in hand, he will get 6 overs, 36 balls. He will get an opportunity.
All right. On that note, we'll see you at tea. Hopefully with 3 wickets in hand. Let's see what happens. Thank you.